Business News. Kate Moody is here with us this morning. Hi, Kate.
Good morning, Hala.
We're going to start off with that Group of 7 meeting that's just wrapped across in Japan. And leaders there have issued a warning about the economic consequences of a possible Brexit.
Yeah, rather dire, according to those leaders. This referendum, of course, taking place in just under a month. And although it wasn't officially on the agenda, German Chancellor Angela Merkel told reporters that all the leaders present at that G7 summit indicated that they do want the UK to remain in the European Union. Now, in the final statement of the summit, the group said, quote, a UK exit from the EU would reverse the trend towards greater global trade and investment and the jobs they create, and it will pose a further serious risk to growth. So quite a dire warning there from that group of 7 industrial powers who said that global economic growth does remain moderate and below potential, and that strengthening that momentum remains their urgent priority.
We'll expect a lot more of those kind of warnings as that referendum approaches. Let's turn to the markets now, Kate. How are they faring this Friday?
A mixed picture on the Asian markets. We saw the Nikkei getting a bit of a boost after data showed that consumer prices had actually fallen a bit last month, and local media reported that the government is considering delaying a planned sales tax hike to help boost the Japanese economy. European markets opening lower just in the last few minutes there. Investors around the world focused on U.S. Federal Reserve Chief Janet Yellen, who later today could give an indication about when interest rates might be raised over in the U.S. Now, take a look at the oil prices after hitting their highest levels of 2016 on Thursday. Oil prices trading firmly below that $50 per barrel threshold. Both international Brent and US WTI just above $49 per barrel. We'll be watching that throughout the rest of the trading day. Let's take a look at some of the day's other business headlines now. General Motors has recalled more than 2 million cars in China. This after its joint venture with the state-owned Shanghai Automotive Industries received complaints about engine damage to a number of Buick and Chevrolet models. Officials say GM will replace the affected valves for free. The struggling U.S. pharmaceutical giant Valeant rejected a takeover deal from Japan's Takeda and a private equity firm. This according to the Wall Street Journal, which says the advance came earlier this year when Valeant was trying to replace its embattled chief executive and facing an accounting scandal. And Google's parent company Alphabet has won a legal battle against the software maker Oracle. A U.S. jury said that copyright law did allow Google to use Oracle's Java platform in its Android smartphone operating system. Oracle had argued that Google should pay a fee to use its software and had requested $9 billion in damages. The company says it plans to appeal that ruling.
Let's return to France now, Kate. And petrol shortages continuing to weigh across the country. And now it's starting to affect the tourism industry.
Yeah, very quickly we're seeing this impact with workers at fuel depots still on strike against the government's labour reform proposals. About half of petrol stations in France are running low or have completely run dry. The CGT union has vowed to continue its strikes and blockades until the government backs down. They've said that it could even impact the Euro Football Championship that kicks off in France in just over 2 weeks' time. That's expected to draw up more than 1 million foreign visitors. Many hotels and restaurants say they're already feeling the pinch, as Claire Williams explains.
Cafe owners in Trouville-sur-Mer had been hoping for a busy weekend. The weather forecast in Normandy is sunny and warm, but terraces are empty, bookings are down, and weekenders are cancelling.
People are scared of coming. This morning I had a group booked in, but they didn't come because they were worried about not having enough petrol and getting stuck here.
You can see it's lunchtime and our restaurant is almost empty. We've had very few reservations for Mother's Day this Sunday.
This hotel owner has seen half his guests cancel since Sunday. He says he's losing €2,000 every day.
This room was booked for the whole weekend, but they cancelled this morning. And here's another empty room. They cancelled this afternoon. People are scared of running out of petrol and not being able to get home.
The tourist season is also getting off to a rocky start for Jean-François in Paris. He drives tourists around in his iconic French car, but deux chevaux have small tanks, and he usually needs to fill up twice a day.
This morning I spent an hour queuing up. Today will be yet another day spent waiting in line and losing time.
The UK Foreign Office is warning that British holidaymakers planning to make the most of the bank holiday weekend could struggle finding fuel across the Channel.
There we go. So to keep an eye on there, Kate.
Exactly.
Okay, thanks very much. Kate Moody, our business editor.